Spider plant info and care. Easily adaptable to standard indoor conditions, the spider plant, or Chlorophytum comosum, is a popular and undemanding indoor plant that beginners and experienced growers equally love. In addition to its decorative appearance and simplicity of cultivation, this plant has another advantage. It is also an excellent air purifier that significantly improves your home's microclimate. What is spider plant? Genus Chlorophytum belongs to the Asparagiaceae family and includes about 200 tropical perennial plants. Among them is Chlorophytum comosum, which is native to southern Africa and is most commonly grown as a houseplant. The plant has elongated, arched, up to 26 inches long, 1 inch wide, longitudinally striped yellow-green leaves that grow from the roots and form a many-leaved fountain-like rosette up to 25 inches high and wide. In the summer months, long, drooping stalks appear from the center of the plant, on which small, inconspicuous, star-shaped white flowers grow. After flowering, offshoots known as spiderets or pups are formed along the stem, so if you don't cut them off, you can enjoy cascades of lovely two-colored tufts. The graceful drooping form makes this plant ideal for growing in hanging baskets or on stands, with enough space to show its full decorative potential. Along with the scientific name Chlorophytum comosum and the common name spider plant, this plant is also known by the names spider ivy, ribbon plant, airplane plant, and hen and chickens. In addition to this classic and most common green-white variety, you can find monochrome types with dark green leaves and charming cultivars with jazzy curled leaves and stems. How to grow spider plant. Unlike many other tropical plants, the spider plant is truly adaptable and easy to grow. It tolerates room conditions, different lighting levels, and occasional neglect. Yet, if you want a specimen that not only survives but also takes your breath away with its luxury, try to meet the conditions listed below. Light. Spider plants prefer bright, indirect lighting near a west or south window. However, the plant will grow even when removed from the light source. In other words, you can place it deeper in a space with partial or complete shade. It can also tolerate direct lighting for a few hours, but not in the hottest part of the day when its leaves can get burnt from the blazing sun. In bicolor species, the amount of light directly affects the color intensity and the size of the leaves. Placed in deep shade, these plants lose their bright stripes and produce fewer leaves that never develop to their full size. Soil. Spider plant grows quite well in ordinary general-purpose soil for indoor plants with a neutral to slightly acidic pH reaction of 6.0 to 7.0. However, as this plant likes loose and well-drained soil, always add a quarter of perlite, sand, or vermiculite to prevent soil compaction and increase its permeability. Watering and humidity. The spider plant root consists of fleshy, thickened tubers that store water, which helps the plant survive dry periods. So never overdo it with water. Water it once a week from spring to autumn and only when 1 inch of the soil is dry to the touch. In the winter period, reduce watering to every 2 or 3 weeks. And since the spider plant likes moist air with values between 40% and 80%, occasional sprinkling with lukewarm water helps it maintain a fresh and healthy appearance. This measure is especially important in winter, when heating can additionally dry out the air. The dry, brown, brittle tips of the leaves indicate a lack of moisture in the room. Temperature. As a typical indoor plant, the spider plant thrives best in a uniform temperature of 65 degrees Fahrenheit to 78 degrees Fahrenheit throughout the year. But in the summer, you can take it outside because the high daytime temperatures will not bother it as long as it is outside the direct midday sun. The lowest temperature this plant can withstand is around 45 degrees Fahrenheit, and it can overwinter in the front entrance or some other less heated room. Fertilizer. Additional feeding is unnecessary if the spider plant grows in quality potting soil rich in nutrients. Moreover, overzealous feeding can cause more problems than benefits. It is better to omit this measure in the first season after transplanting. When the soil is already quite depleted the following year, you can fertilize the plant with a standard water-soluble houseplant fertilizer once or twice a month. But even then, dilute the solution to half of the recommended dose. And of course, from autumn to next spring, suspend additional feeding. Repotting. The spider plant grows better if not placed in a too large container because it spends energy on root development instead of leaf mass development. The diameter of the container should be only 1 inch wider than the root ball. Precisely because of the tendency to grow more intensively when there is not much space, the The plant should not be transplanted often, once every 2 or 3 years after the roots have filled the container. Be careful when transplanting the spider plant since the white, fleshy tubers are easily breakable. Propagation. Propagating a spider plant is as simple as growing it. You can choose between dividing the clumps in the spring when transplanting or using the tufts that the plant produces every year. Suppose you don't have the patience and want a new adult plant immediately. In that case, you should carefully separate the roots and the leaf crown, usually consisting of several individual, clearly visible rosettes. If you like watching the process of plant development, cut a part of the stem with the baby spider plant and put it in water until it develops a root. Or wait for the baby plant to develop tiny roots while still on the stalk, then separate and plant it in the fresh, moist substrate. Problems. The most common mistake when growing spider plants is excessive watering, which causes the plant to suffer from root rot. In addition to the unpleasant smell of rot, the disease is also manifested by unhealthy yellowing and limp leaves. But you can still save such a plant if you notice the changes in time. You should remove the plant from the container and cut off all diseased leaves and rotten tubers. If at least one part of the root is firm to the touch left in the root ball, the plant can be regenerated. It is enough to transplant it into a fresh but dry substrate. And for the first month until you notice that it produces new leaves, be careful or don't water it at all. Pests. Although it doesn't happen often, sapsucker pests can attack your spider plant. Aphids, spider mites, and mealybugs can feast on their leaves, especially if the plant spends the summer outside, where these intruders attack all other plants. Fortunately, a simple and natural solution, tinctures based on neem oil, will do the trick. And if you can't get neem oil, you're left with one of the many industrial insecticides for houseplant pests. And there you have it, your complete guide to nurturing and flourishing your spider plant. We've covered everything from proper lighting and watering to common issues you might face, ensuring your spider plant thrives in your home. If you enjoyed learning about the spider plant and are curious about more ways to greenify your space, don't forget to check out this video, 12 Herbs You Can Grow in Water. This guide will show you how to grow your own herbs in a simple, soil-free method, perfect for small spaces or starting your indoor herb garden. Make sure to hit that like button if you found this video helpful, subscribe for more practical gardening tips, and share your own spider plant experiences in the comments below. We love hearing from you and sharing in your gardening adventures. Until next time, life is better when you garden.